Oh yeah. What is a jamboree?
I don't fucking
Track
know.
jamboree.
I don't think it was just a camp. I don't think it was jamboree. It was like a camp. It was like a camp, a Boy Scout camp.
Oh, Boy Scout Jamboree is like the worldwide thing that happens
Yeah,
every
not
like
that,
4 years,
I
and it
just
happens
called it
in like
that 'cause-
European countries, and nobody besides the super rich troops gets to go, and the native ones.
Oh,
But
so, like,
just
what
some
do they
camp.
do there? Is it like cool stuff?
It's just a general celebration. There's musicians, and like it's just sort of like a.
Oh, weird.
It's just like it's
Okay,
like a it's like a
never mind.
Bunch of
well,
dudes
okay,
being
it's
dudes.
like a Christian version of like Woodstock, but like for kids is sort of
Okay.
the idea.
Never mind that. So I was at this Boy Scout camp, and it was a really good camp. Honestly, I remember doing this.
Was it a summer camp or just like
Yeah, it was a summer camp. There was a bunch of troops there. It was like everyone got their own campsite and shit. Pretty cool. And they had like pre-placed platforms for like the tents, and they had like cots there for you, so it was pretty nice.
That's OG, bro.
Yeah. And there was it was one night, and we were vibing out, like everyone
There's
there.
only one night?
We were like going through the forest and shit, just like
Yeah.
kicking rocks and shit. And there was like a swimming area on this lake that was all netted in, so it was like safe from the fishies. Kind of cool. And we were swimming there and shit. We had to do like our swimming badge or whatever the fuck. It's kind of cool. But like it was like one night, and we were coming back from eating. And we were all in small
the belt
groups, and it
loops.
was super spread out. You know, like it was just like a couple people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like there was just a few people around.
Fuck.
And it was
Right.
dark. And I was like trailing behind my friend by a lot, and I had my water bottle. and, when we got back to the camp, I was like, I'm gonna see what happens if I throw this water bottle.
Oh my god.
And I take the water bottle, and
like a
this guy is
plastic
like
Cannondale.
yards. He's like,
what is it like? Is it like one of those plastic Cannondales, like those like big
yeah,
ones?
it's like a plastic like
Uh-huh.
Nalgene. It's like,
Yeah.
and I take it, and he's like far ahead. He's like all the way at the camp, and I'm like back on the path still. And I take the Nalgene, and I just chuck it, and it hits this guy square on the back of the head in the pitch black, and he goes down, and I'm like.
You're such an awful person sometimes.
And I'm
There are,
like,
There's stories you'll tell, and you're such like a decent sounding person, and there's other stories where it's just like you were irredeemable.
This one's
You were-
wait, keep
you
going.
were like
keep
an
going.
I'm
always
not
sunny in
done.
Philadelphia character.
So he goes down, and I'm like, oh shit. And it's like pitch black. Get this. So like, theoretically, I wasn't there because it was so dark. No one saw me.
Well, the water bottle's there.
So no, so it's like theoretically no one saw me. It was pitch black, and I like go up to him, and I'm like, what happened?
I've definitely had
Did
moments
he
like that.
buy
I remember
it?
I hit a girl in the head
I'm
with
like,
an
what
eraser.
happened? Why?
Did he buy it?
Well, here's the thing. It gets more complicated. It gets really tense. I start getting
Oh,
so
okay.
nervous because of what
Okay.
happens. So I'm like, oh, what happened? He's like, did you just hit me with your water bottle? And I'm like, what? No, I don't know what that was. And I was like, I don't know what that was. And he eventually goes back to his dad, and he tells his dad that I hit him with a water bottle.
Is he crying?
Yeah, this kid was hurt. I chucked the water bottle from like
And did
from
he
like
say that
50
you
feet
hit him?
away. This
Yeah,
thing was
no,
like
he-
parabola arc in the air,
Yeah,
like
you-
donk,
you
like
Kobe, that guy. Yeah.
yeah. And so this guy was like hurted, and I think he bled a little. I do. Like, I think yeah. So he went to
got
my
brain damage.
dad, and then
You went to Mark.
yeah, he went to Mark,
cannot-
and this is when I
okay,
start getting
pause it,
scared
pause.
because
I cannot imagine Mark camping. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't seem like. He seems above that.
he
Eric,
seems
I hope that
above
one
that.
day you get to meet Mark. Mark is the most insane character ever.
Is it just like really over the top, or is my man's just like Mark?
No, he's just Mark.
No,
You've seen
he's
the skateboard
super.
image?
He's super protective, and he's like super like stern.
Yeah, you've
And
seen
the
the
way
skateboard
and
image.
his humor is like Matthew's humor, but without the funny tone of voice. So you don't ever know if it's like sick or not. So it's just like terrifying. He'll just come up to you and be like, "Do you eat the last piece of cheese?" And then he like stares at you, and you're like, "Oh my god!" And he's
Oh my
like,
god, I'm dead.
and he's like taller. He was no, you're taller than Mark now, right? Mark's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
6'6", 6'7", and what are
What?
you?
No.
Christ, bro.
No,
No,
he's like
no.
6'5". I'm like 6'5", but bigger.
he's not. You're not wider than Mark.
No, I'm like 6'5", but like bigger, like we're both
You just
6'5"
mean
apparently.
you have
but
better
I'm like
posture.
taller
Is what
than
you're
him.
telling me. Yeah, it's called
So-
posture.
Oh yeah.
My dad is 6'3" until he like stretches his back out, and then he's like 6'5". But
Yeah.
but,
So
yeah,
okay, can I finish? So I go to
scary
Mark.
guy.
Well, we go to Mark, and he's like,
Uh-huh.
"Your son hit my son with a water bottle, and it really fucking hurt him." And then Mark is like, "Did you fucking do that?" And the whole time, I'm like playing the story. I'm like, "No, I did
What?
not
No,
do."
what? What
I'm
do you
like,
mean?
"No,
It's so
that's
funny
not
though if I
my."
did.
I mean, that's my water bottle, but I didn't hit him with it. That's like, that's me. I'm like, that's my water bottle. I don't know how it got
The
there to
fact that
his
you
head.
even claim like ownership of the water bottle is such a ballsy play. It's just, yeah, that's my water bottle, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. I didn't fucking
Someone must
do
have
it.
stolen it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so this whole
Somebody must
time,
have-
for the rest of the camp, this guy and his dad are like pissed at me because they know I fucking did it, but I didn't say I did it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
So like, I'm just like,
Oh, but they never bought it.
well, I mean, they didn't want to say I'm lying, so they didn't like call me out for that.
They're like, you're capping. They're not gonna tell it like, yeah,
You're
whatever.
capping.
But like, my dad was pissed at me the whole time because he knew I was lying and he knew I did it, but I didn't want to say anything. And that's kind of a root of many of the problems my dad has with me.
Because
You
of
do
the
have
Boy
a.
Scout camp at one time.
I mean, there's a couple root problems, but
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
one of them.
that's
Though.
what it is.
I've grown past that though.
Okay, I have this memory. I don't even know
And
if
that's
it's
not.
real.
I'm not joking. No, I'm not joking. I own up to things
No,
now.
I
just
doubt
want to
it.
make that clear. Just want chat.
You're owning up
if
to
you're
that.
listening, chat.
But okay, Matthew, do
Okay,
you have
well,
this memory?
sometimes some people
of-
will claim that I don't do that, which is
Do you have
fair.
this memory of your
okay,
dad and
I'm
I?
not perfect. Wait, yep.
Do you have this memory of your dad and I setting up like a multiplayer like game of Mario Kart so that you and Catherine can race against Anderson and I?
Uh huh.
Does that memory exist in your
Wait,
head?
like over the air, like internet
Yes,
Mario
like over,
Kart.
over the internet.
Oh my
internet
god,
Mario
we were
Kart.
like on a phone call.
Yeah,
Oh, that was
but neither of
cringe.
us said anything because that was before we actually knew each other. That was like we're technically
Yeah, that was
related, but I
hilarious.
know nothing about you.
It was like
The
it
fact
was
that
like
there was a period
Oh,
of
I
time
have
in which
five health.
we would go to each other, like we'd come to your house and then we would just sit there awkwardly in a circle and just sort of stare at each other.
it was because you were like 3 and I was like 7.
Yeah, I mean the age gap is lesser now that we both are like both equally retarded.
Yeah.
Now that the brain cell equal, it's about the same at this point.
Now that gamers rise. Oh, you guys ever have like you can't differentiate? There's only one certain one that I have this about, but you can't differentiate some memories from like from what could be a possible dream.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
get this dream all the time where I
There's-
think I'm inside of a fourth dimensional like cube and I'm like falling through space and time and I'm absolutely terrified and wake up in a pool of sweat every time. Do you
I
get
get
that?
this one's not a dream,
Oh, okay.
but it's just like something that I remember. It's I was at like my Christian camp that I go to, where we go out to Canada and on houseboats and shit. And
Is
I
this
remember
real?
going on. We do it. It's very real, a very real thing we do. But I
Oh.
remember going out on this like party boat, and one of my leaders now, but like he was just on the boat at the time. He dislocated his shoulder and it popped back into place. And like, it's so fucking vivid because I remember it's every like specific detail of him jumping off the top of the thing, him coming up out of the water and being like, "Oh my god, I dislocated my shoulder," and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Eric, are you okay?"
Is this a dream or is this?
See, but I don't know because I asked him about it because I have Bible study with him now, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys remember the time that Eric Chen he like dislocated his whole ass arm?" And they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro? What kind of?"
So, I see. Yeah, that's crazy.
Either they
Huh.
all don't remember or it was a dream, but it was
Yeah.
like extremely vivid.
There's some things that just some people just don't remember as vivid as it is.
An entire boat though, you have one health.
I know I
Yeah.
do.
I
I
have
have
this-
this.
Huh?
Okay, you go first. You go first. You go first.
Well, I had
you go
this
first.
distinct memory of me waking up in a pool of my own vomit, and my
Yeah.
parents were standing
Oh.
above me. That was real, but it felt like it was a dream.
sometimes when you like get awoken by barf or like by peeing yourself or something while you're in like a REM cycle, it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember
REM
I
cycles
woke
do
up
that
one
too.
time and I peed myself after waking up. I was sitting there like, I gotta pee, and I just
Wait, what the fuck?
That is funny. That
here's
is
the thing. Here's the catch. I'm
That
sitting
is-
there in my bed with my I remember they were flame pajamas. They were flame fleece pajamas.
Yo.
And I'm like, I'm really hot right now, and I kind of gotta pee, and it just starts going, and I'm like, oh my god, and I can't
No,
move. I
Megan,
have sleep
stop.
paralysis, and I couldn't move.
Y'all ever have wet dreams
Wow.
before?
Woke
No, I remember I was sitting there reading Garfield once though, and then
Wait,
some
what'd
of it
you
came
say?
out. No.
You just admit to coming reading our
Because I laughed too hard.
You come.
Somebody heard you say ever. Oh my god. That you came while reading
Wait. Was it like cause you read Garfield, or was it like just
too hard
while
and it
you
came
were
out.
reading Garfield? Like, was it to Garfield?
I laughed too hard and it like.
He came reading Garfield.
That makes my mouth chapped thinking about.
Oh my god.
I'm dismayed.
The way you said it so casually. No, one time I was reading Garfield though, and I came a little bit.
Come to little.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
What can I say?
That's a memory. That's something. That is the one sentence that will just like I will, like associate with you for the rest of your being. Remember? Do you know Eric Olson? Yeah, the one fucker who came while reading Garfield. Oh my god.
I think that happened to me once.
You also came reading Garfield.
No. I like it was like a wet dream.
I've never had a wet dream. At least
It's only happened once, and it was like last year.
It
last
was just this
year.
morning.
Yeah, no, it was like last year. I was in my dorm, and I woke up, and I was just like, what the fuck, so sticky down there? I was like, ugh. Yeah, that was weird. I think I was dreaming about like I was like at like I was like in Alaska or something.
I don't need to hear what made you do it.
I think I was like,
Come on.
no.
I can't stop you because we're over Discord. You can just like.
I think I was like in an Eskimo tent, and it was like some bitch in a whole Alaskan setup. You know what I'm saying? With
Yo.
the parka.
What is an Alaskan setup?
And it was
It's
like,
like
she
the
basically
Santa
was
suits that
just
bitches
like
have,
a
but it's
pillow.
Alaskan.
And I don't know why I found this so provocative at the time, but it was like
Well, now you know. If you ever find an Inuit
big,
tribe,
fluffy,
be like, hey, yo,
like Inuit looking head ass, nothing showing. Like that's the type of shit right there.
that's what you like.
That's it.
I like the big. I like you. My man likes the coats.
My man like the coats, nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, good to know, man. Good to know. Okay,
Yup.
but
We ever need to get you hookers.
before we went over in that way, I was gonna say like, do you guys? I had like, when I was like younger, I had this recurring dream of being in this warehouse, and there was this mechanical dragon that would like emerge from the shelving and kill me just over and over again in my dreams.
Oh, I hate that. That's like
Nice.
the cube I keep
And-
falling through.
And it happened to like a certain like song or sound that I can never replicate or ever recognize, but I know it when it happens or when it would happen in the dreams.
Yeah,
It's
no,
crazy.
I have that.
Yeah.
It's with the cube though.
Yeah, cute.
Okay, there's always people, I don't know how many people have the same thing, but it's mine was a carpet ball, like this
A
massive.
carpet ball.
Here's
Ball of
the
carpet?
thing of it. This is the thing of it. I'm on
This
an
is the thing
endless
of it,
white
Jay.
plane, and I'm in this endless white plane in my dream, and occasionally the ground is this carpet stuff, you know.
If we just start doing a podcast, we're in too good of a thing. We'll do it without Sam, and let's
Oh,
go.
I've been
We're going.
recording for like half an hour.
You've been
Don't
recording for half.
I got Eric cummed.
Yeah.
God, let's go. You're clutch. I was like, maybe
Here's
you
the-
recording.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything because it might ruin it.
We'll keep
This
going.
one's so okay. This one's a weird one, but it's like the recurring thing where it's like, oh my god, this is so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be like laying there, and I'd feel the world around me like expanding and
interesting.
contracting as my vision did the same thing in both eyes. Like I can do this now, where like one of my eyes focuses different than the other.
That
It happens when
reminds
I'm
me
tired.
of the
I can focus.
cube.
What? You can't
Exactly, that's
keep
what I'm
mentioning
saying.
the cube
Yeah.
and not talk
No,
about.
see, the
No, but
cube
here's the
isn't
whole
something.
here's the catch.
It's not like
Here's the
describable.
catch to the carpet ball. I'm going first, Matthew. I'm talking
no,
about my
I
carpet
get
ball
it.
right
I
now.
get it.
Carpet ball.
And it would like roll over me. It would come over and just crush me, and I'd feel the weight. I'd feel the weight of this massive fucking carpet ball, just like. And
How
it's
did
the
you know
weird.
it's carpet?
Like
you can
the
recognize it
texture.
was. That's funny.
The texture.
It was like it was kind of. I think it was it like emerges from the fact where I'd like lay on my floor a lot in my carpet and just like lay there and just feel it.
Yeah.
So in my dreams, it was like replicating that, but it was like destroying me physically. It was like. I don't know, but it was some. I don't know the whole mental capacity of it, but I was.
No, yeah.
It was insane.
I need to
shit.
know the cube story.
Yeah, no,
now.
that reminds me distinctly of the cube.
Of the cube.
Yeah, no, the cube and isn't okay. I say it's a cube only because it's the best representation of the feeling.
Okay.
This cube and what I feel isn't exactly something that's describable with words. It's something past that. I don't think there's like words to describe
So
this. I think it is.
You were on DMT one time.
It's it's basically pure feeling. Like it just feels cube, and I am falling through it, and it's getting divided and divided over and over again.
that reminds me
The
of the
way
carpet
you
ball because
said
it's like the
cube.
feeling of the like the.
That's what I know. I know
You
what you
feel
mean.
Cube.
It's
but
like
mine was more like the force thing instead of the falling.
I feel like I kept getting smaller and smaller, and ow! I just stabbed my fucking eye.
Nice.
Oh.
But yeah, you like feel your body get small and big, but you never actually change size. So it's kind of like you were warping through time and space.
Yeah, it's just the cube or the carpet ball. It's doing stuff to us and just it's constantly fucking with us, and it's just nothing you can do. It's like
Nice.
sucking it
Crazy
out of
goddamn
you.
dreams, bro.
The only thing I've had that's even close to that is like sometimes I get a feeling of like I picture an object and all of a sudden that object becomes simultaneously like larger and smaller at the same time in my head, and it feels
Yeah.
super weird. Like it like is a super small object, but for some reason because it's like super big, it like is like crazy. I don't know how to
Can
explain
you guys
it.
like zoom your vision out when you're like it happens when I'm fatigued or
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. When you
in a weird
stare
mood.
at something for too long, it
You
like
not
your
your Nikon eyes.
Your FOV starts to like distort it. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like I always think of my eyes as
get
Nikon
FOV
lenses. 'cause
slider in
they
real
work.
life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah.
cool.
And then I remember the most distinct one is I was sitting there in third grade in my third grade class, and I'm sitting there at my desk just like staring at my teacher, like the side of her head, and I'm like, I wonder if I can do the thing. So I stare really hard, and she just goes from like looking like a normal person to my entire view. I can see the entire classroom to the left and
Mhm.
right of me, and she's like super tiny. And I'm like, this is the craziest feeling in my life. And I replicated it like the exact like way of doing it one other time, and I was sitting there in my geometry class in freshman year, and I stared at my my college rule comp notebook, and I just looked at the pattern on it for so long and like zoned out so hard that it did the thing, and then I walked around the rest of the day just like, holy shit, I can see everything.
Nice.
I think
Oh,
that's
wow.
like meditating.
That's what
Except with your eyes open.
Yeah. Yeah, like I sometimes I sit there in the shower and I try and like feel everything and like leave my like
We got taught how to meditate in middle school, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy
That was
stupid.
fire.
It's the
really
dumbest
I still use that.
experience of my life. Eric, I'll tell him about it. So in middle school, this started in like 7th grade. So the way our middle school is structured is there were like 4 teachers, and then one of them had slightly more power than the other ones, and then there was like an office lady. But the one dude, he was like, these students seem stressed. How about we
Oh my god, we
fire-"
went to Hogwarts.
the fuck?
What?
We had a Hogwarts dynamic, bro.
Yeah, we did, but it was like I don't know, but it was a middle school, but so the one dude, he hires like a parent of a past student to come back and
she
teach
was still
all
there.
of for 1 year, but she kept coming back. Like
Oh.
it was
No, I
multiple.
mean Ari was still at the all right. Anyway,
Yeah, you're really great at anonymity in these stories, like but So yeah, she would like come and then she would have us all like get like yoga mats. And when it was nice out, we would go out in the grass and all lay in a circle and she would do like structured breathing. But then when it wasn't, we would all sit in these nasty like classrooms on the ground and like in the dark and just like do breathing exercises. And I
But the
remember
outdoors ones, you got.
I remember the my homeroom, or I guess that's what it was. That's what it was. I don't know if this video won't be out at the time, but the cameraman of one of the videos we recorded, Andre, he was in my homeroom, and I remember he and I and this one other guy, we'd all fuck around during these like meditations, to the point that like our homeroom teacher would like threaten to like take away the meditation and like kick us out. And it was like, dude, that's what we want. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember why we hated it, but we did.
Because you guys are middle school boys sitting
It
in a
was middle
circle for an
school.
hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a little too hard for us at the time.
But like, it was such a crazy thing because instead of it just being like, oh yeah, breathe, it was like
Yeah, she tried to
these,
convince us
these
one
like
time.
mental scenarios where
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, we're
She
in a
one time
bubble
tried to
ascending.
convince us that she was able to change the color of her eyes as a kid by just meditating hard enough.
I think she actually did that. I was over at their place
changed her
for
eyes. She changed her eyes from like brown to green just by like focus breathing and like
it was
thinking that the air
blue to
she was
green here.
that the air she was taking in was like changing her color, like of
That's
her eyes.
cracked out, dude.
It was
See,
crazy.
I think that actually happened because I went to their place and the pictures of her as a kid, she had blue eyes.
You can just change
was
your
like,
eye color.
Your eye color
over
just
time.
changes, Eric. It's not like you have to breathe in order to
I
change
don't
your eye
know.
color.
I went and I saw a baby picture, and they had no hair.
They had no hair. Like,
No.
did they just like
What?
be mad? They just breathed their own hair.
Yeah. I think meditating, all you do, you just sit there and breathe for long enough. No special breathing. You just breathe normally.
You just breathe.
I mean, you can like breathe like, to calm yourself
Square
down,
breathing
but then you
is
end up
helpful.
breathing normally again.
I like triangle breathing, to be honest with you.
Nah.
So I think you just sit there for long enough, breathing without moving and just in silence, and then you start to like leave your body and shit, kind of, not really, but like, kind of like
You start to
out.
think like third person.
Yeah, you kind of third person it, and then you just do that.
It's kind of like running for long enough, yeah.
Yeah, basically, you just like enter the zone.